Tales from the Grey Side presents 13 Nights of Halloween.
Let's make it 31 Nights of Halloween instead, if your heart can stand it.
Sid Shaw's here, readers. Come with me and listen to the patter of rain drumming along the roof of your travelling coffin. Watch as wipers cut into reels of rainwater, inching their way across the windshield. Come with me into the nightmare world of Richard and Dianna Mason in a little fable I call Time Out.
For heaven's sake, Rick, can't you make this old card go any faster? If a heart attack doesn't finish off Uncle Jameson, he'll die of boredom waiting for us to get to his seance.
Shut up, will you? How do you expect me to concentrate with you yapping in my ear all the time? Cripes, aren't you ever quiet for one single moment? We'll get there just as soon as I figure out what turnoff I missed.
Once upon a midnight dreary, Stan Lee, editor, found Jerry Conway, writer, babbling insanely to Sid Shaw's artist, while Artie Simic, letterer, took hastily scrawled notes. And so a story was born. Harsh wind lashes the car as Dianna peers into the blur of rain and opaque darkness.
For heaven's sake, Rick, it's already 11 o'clock. You should have got us to my uncle's almost an hour ago. You should have...
Lay off, will you? There's a lot of things I should have done, including marry somebody besides a nagging shrew like you. Wait a second, what's that up ahead? Lodgings. Sign must have been torn down by a storm. We might as well hole up away from the storm. Doesn't look as if we'll get to your uncle's place tonight.
Muted by the rain, the roar of the car's engine adds a staccato background to Diana's innermost thoughts.
What happened to us? What happened to the man I once knew? The man I married? He's changed. We both changed. Whatever love we once shared is dead.
And then a flash of lightning, and framed against the stark rain-streaked sky, the house.
There's our little home for the night, Big Mouth.
Rick, there's something wrong. I lived near here for 10 years. I never knew of a house like this. I don't like it, Rick. I don't.
Well, it's better than nothing, that's for sure. Besides, it's only for a few hours. It isn't as though we were planning to spend the rest of our lives in the place.
We wouldn't have to spend any time here at all if you hadn't gotten lost. You know Uncle Jameson said he'd cut us out of his will if we didn't come to his seance tonight.
Oh, that's it. Blame me, just like you always do. Still, we can't let all this loot go to that loony sister of yours. Hey! Isn't anybody home?
Echoing off into emptiness, the knocks go unheeded, and then, with an agonized creak, the ancient door opened at the merest touch.
Nothing. This place looks as lively as a tomb, like no one's lived here for years. At least we're lucky these candles were near the door. Now stick close and stop nagging me long enough for us to... What in the...
The wind must have blown the door shut.
Well, let's see what... Holy crow! Look at that funny circle, that globe, all that mystical junk. It reminds me of all that tripe your nutty uncle dabbles in. What's going on here, anyway?
Rick, I'm afraid. We don't belong here. I can feel it. Please, Rick. Let's go back to the car, Rick. I'm frightened.
You're talking crazy, Dianna. You'd be afraid of your own... What's that?
It's laughter, you fool. Hollow, mocking laughter. But where's it coming from?
It's the wind, blast it. Just the wind. Rattling through these rotting walls. That's all. Yeah, that's all. Still, this place is starting to give me the creeps too. So we better, huh? What the devil?
What's wrong, Rick?
The door won't open.
It's got to open, you bumbling incompetent. Pull harder!
I am trying, Loudmouth. Can't you see? That slamming must have jammed it somehow. The windows. That's how we'll get out.
Unthinking, not wanting to wonder why a stark fear grows inside them, like the brewing storm outside, they run to the windows only to find...
Bars! We're trapped! Trapped!
And, once again, that grim travesty of laughter echoes through the Mulder house, accompanied by the cold chill of festering despair.
Oh, Rick, what do we do? We've got to get to Uncle Jameson's before morning. Show him that we tried to attend the seance, or we'll lose everything.
Easy, Diana, easy. Uh-oh, that gust of wind must have blown out the candles. Well, here's another one, so at least, what are you looking at?
Rick, that mirror, the one behind you. You've got no reflection.
Good Lord.
Then the look of confusion on Rick's face swiftly turns to one of utter fear, as with a creak of aging hinges...
Diana, look out!
The echoes of the crash melt off into the cry of the whistling wind that rocks the ancient house.
I could have been killed, Rick, if not for you.
It's alright, kid. One of us must have brushed against it in the dark.
If anything had happened to you, Rick,
Nothing's going to happen to me, or to you, if I can help it. One thing's for certain. If we're not going to get out of this house tonight, we'll just keep watching and see what happens come morning. At least we're together, and I never knew how much that meant to me, till now.
If only this were a dream, Rick, from which we'd wake up at dawn.
But it is no dream, and the night passes, a night filled with nameless fears which lurk always around the next corner. Then at last...
Look, honey, it's dawn, and the storm outside stopped as the sun came up.
But we're still locked in, so...
Then suddenly the moan of rickety rusted hinges and...
Doors opening, but no one's there.
What does it mean, darling? What?
It means we're free, Diana. Free! Come on. Let's get out of here before it decides to trap us again. If we hurry, we could just make it to your uncle's place by noon.
But that'll be too late, Rick. We were supposed to be there last night. And, Rick, the car.
It's gone. Someone stole it during the storm. Somebody must have locked us in last night and taken it. Well, we'll worry about that later, after we hitch a ride. We've got to get to your uncle so he doesn't cut you out of his will. That's what matters.
Yes, that's what matters.
The ride to her uncle's mansion is short, but long enough for both to wonder over unanswered questions. Then...
Rick, that isn't Tom, Uncle's regular gardener. In fact, the whole place looks somehow different.
I'll soon find out what's going on here.
Old Mr. Jameson? Why, he died 7 years ago today it was. Papers mentioned it this morning, 'cause it was the same night his niece and her husband disappeared in the great storm of '70. His niece Claudia's been running the place ever since.
The aged gardener will never understand why the two young people just stared at him in stark amazement, then turned away.
7 years? We lost 7 years in one night. We not only lost your inheritance, but we've been declared legally dead by now. Your uncle did it somehow. I know he did. But why?
Don't you see, Rick? Don't you see? He always said he wished his magic could leave us more than money. Leave us what we really wanted.
Yes, now I see. He did give us what we wanted, much more than money, though we didn't know it.
We may have lost the money, lost 7 years of our lives, but we found each other.